How's it going, everybody? My name is TheStarkz, and welcome back to another Uncharted video. According to a website titled The Leak, Uncharted is getting a reboot instead of a fifth installment video game. The article states that Leak claims Uncharted isn't getting a fifth installment, but a full reboot. They say that Uncharted is one of the most dominant exclusive titles for Sony, which is really true, as it sits right along with The Last of Us, Horizon series, and God of War. But we haven't heard anything new about Nathan Drake's adventures since Naughty Dog announced they wouldn't carry on with the series. In quotes, Sony has decided to reboot the series. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End proved there's still a lot of value in the franchise as it sold more than 16 million copies, and it was further cemented this year when the Uncharted movie was a box office smash hit, bringing over 400 million even if the reviews were harsh. With that in mind, there's no wonder we're beginning to hear about a new Uncharted title. According to two independent sources, Sony decided to reboot the series earlier this year before handing it to an unknown developer. However, Naughty Dog is expected to initially assist the new team. While we can only speculate, the series could have two different routes. Either rebooting with a young Nathan Drake set to explore new adventures, or with a new character but with a cameo from Drake. And then it goes on to say that it is not likely that the new game will be teased anytime soon, as the development is still in its infancy. However, a logo reveal at the Game Awards 2022 will be a pleasant surprise. Nonetheless, it's exciting that we're on road to getting a new big set adventure, big set piece adventure. And we've reached out. Apparently the website reached out to Sony, but they didn't hear anything regarding that. Now this is actually really interesting because I think this idea of another Uncharted has been in kind of everyone's mouths on Twitter. Same goes with A Last of Us 3. I don't know why people are kind of saying that there's a Last of Us 3. There's not going to be a Last of Us 3 anytime soon. That is my guess, because I don't think there's enough content there to justify a third game. That's just what I'm saying, right? Obviously, I love The Last of Us 1 and 2, but I don't think there's enough there. But with Uncharted as well, I mean, Uncharted is a wonderful series. It's one of my favorite Naughty Dog. It probably is my favorite Naughty Dog series. I mean, I love The Last of Us, obviously. I've got a bunch of Last of Us t-shirts and I was going to say I have a sweater. I don't have the Last of Us sweater, but that's next. Point is, I really love The Last of Us, and a lot of my videos are about Last of Us. However, I'm a huge Uncharted fan, which isn't saying anything really, because I feel like everyone who's played Uncharted really values the series, at least. But I could be biased. But nonetheless, I mean, Uncharted getting a reboot, I think, is absolutely unnecessary. Same goes with a remake. Same goes with a fifth game. And this ties back also to The Last of Us. I don't think we should have had a remake. I played it. I purchased it. I cracked and I purchased it for over $100. And I'm like, this is great and all, but this was not necessary. And I still believe that to this day. I am a fan of Naughty Dog, and I'll support them nonetheless. But I can still think that another game is just unnecessary. I mean, Uncharted 4 concluded Nathan Drake's story. What is there to... I mean, sure, I think in the realm of The Last of Us, the realm of Uncharted, yes, there's endless stories you can tell. You can go to the parts of the Caribbean and explore that. You can go to Norse mythology, and explore the treasures and golds in that part of the world, in that region of the world. You could go to Brazil. Actually, I think Uncharted 2 was kind of supposed to be like South America. Actually, no, I think the first one was South America. I think the second one was somewhere else. I want to say Europe, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong there. Point being, there's endless regions and areas that you can explore in Uncharted. But if they're making a reboot, I think this is going to get a lot of negative attention, because especially if this reboot, this website states that there's two ways they can go with this: a young Nathan Drake, or a completely different story with a new character, perhaps Nathan Drake's daughter, which I think is what the setup was. That's what it felt like. Okay, for a fifth game, we might get Nathan Drake's daughter. I don't know. Nathan blew all his money. He has cancer now, and she has to go on this globe-trotting adventure to get more money. Obviously, that's ridiculous. But point is, that's what it felt like. we have Cassie Drake, I think was her name, and this could continue the series, this character. A reboot is interesting, though, because a reboot entails that we don't necessarily have to have Nathan Drake. We can have a cameo. We can have different characters. Like I said, I think there is endless I mean, look at Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. A great story. And it really tied everything together with Chloe, Nadine Ross and her company, which I was not expecting at all. And Sam Drake being in the game just blew me out of, like, I was not expecting that whatsoever. So that was a pleasant surprise. And like I said, you know, they explored India, which was great. I think the atmosphere there was amazing, and this kind of like neopolitical commentary was really interesting. With the whole, this guy wanted to wipe the city clean or something, like the villain wanted to, something like that. It was really cool. It was a really cool idea, and I think that, while is in the realm of Uncharted, is not a continuation of any of the 4 Uncharted games. Which is what I'm trying to say, is like, there are stories that could be told, endless stories, but I don't think it should be rebooted and changed, and I don't think other developers, unless it's freaking Santa Monica Studio or Rockstar Games, or Insomniac Games, maybe even Ben Studio, except they would need a lot of influence and help from Naughty Dog, because Ben Studio, while a great company, has a lot of talent that they need to bring to the table to make a decent game at launch, because Days Gone, while it was a great game, launched with a lot of bugs that I experienced. Nonetheless, this is really interesting. My thoughts on this is, I don't think Uncharted deserves a reboot. However, actually, let me go back. I don't think Uncharted deserves needs a reboot, and I don't think we need a 5th game. However, there's a lot of endless stories that can be told in the Uncharted realm, the Uncharted, I guess, I don't know, ecosystem, right? There's a lot of stories that can be told, and I really like the addition of the film. The film adaptation was amazing, like this article said, despite the trash reviews, or harsh reviews. I think the movie was outstanding. You know, as a fan of Uncharted, I was there just pointing everything out, and it was just a beautiful film. I really enjoyed it, even though I wasn't a huge fan of Mark Wahlberg. I think him and lead Tom Holland did a great job, nonetheless. But I'm curious to know everybody else's thoughts about this. Do you think Uncharted deserves a reboot? Do you think it is getting a reboot? I mean, there's not much sources to go off of this, but it claims that there's been a few sources that suggest that there's a reboot happening. So let's pretend this is true. Do you think Uncharted is getting a reboot? And if so, do you think it deserves a reboot? And would you support this reboot, especially if Naughty Dog's not working on it? Or do you think, if it's not getting a reboot, if we're going to get a 5th game from another developer? Because I don't think Naughty Dog is going to be working on this. If so, let me know all your comments in the comment section below. And that being said, I've been TheStarkz. Peace.